In this live martial arts class, you'll discover easy martial arts cane self-defense training. Grab your cane and follow me. You're gonna start with your hand here in this hook. Your palm is facing this guy. You're gonna crank forward slowly in this motion. It's gonna spin it forward. Squeeze your abs tight, stomach up and in, shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin a little bit. Let me show you what that looks like from the side. Just twisting this way. Now gradually you're gonna increase the speed as you do this. You're engaging your core. You're gonna get your heart rate up just a little bit. This is a warm-up to stay safe from injury. You're gonna bring this over and back, spinning in this way. And this is not necessarily a self-defense move, although some will say you can use this just by spinning this aggressively in someone's face to keep them back. That makes sense, right? If I know I can strike hard like that with my cane, but if I start to spin it like this and I come close, it's still gonna hit. I'm still hitting. It's not necessarily gonna be as strong as if I have this power grip, but it's a way you can imagine that you might keep somebody back. But we're doing it, you're doing this with me to engage the core. Remember, shoulders back and down, stomach up and in, tuck your chin just a little bit, pull your head back, increase the speed. 30 seconds here. And again, this looks like this. Just a small motion. Your hand's not completely holding tight, but it's not all the way open either. Kind of a relaxed yet firm grip. And then over and back from side to side. Put it into the other hand, same thing. Start with this warm-up spin, about 30 seconds, pushing and pulling, this cranking motion, and then over and back. 30 seconds here, stomach up and in, abs tight. Get that heart rate up, make it sweat. Now, you can also do all of these exercises sitting in a chair. So you might be confined to a chair because you have some issue with your body that forces you to be in a chair, or you might just be sitting on the bench, right, at the park. They open the park back up, you're sitting at the bench, you're sitting on the bus, sitting on a train. Just want you to see all these motions work also just as well sitting in a chair. And the chair gives you that solid foundation, so it makes sense that it would work. So going back and forth to the side, and then as part of your warm-up, I want you to then hold on to the top. You're gonna put it between your legs, and you're gonna go down and up in a very shallow squat. Just a little bit of a squatting motion. And I want you to do that for 20 seconds. I want you to start getting your heart rate up, start building some strength and power in the legs. All of the strikes in any martial art, any self-defense, any street fight self-defense style is coming from your legs off of the ground when you're standing. So on the ground, just about 20 seconds, and then go back to your spin. This is your warm-up for this class. It's an easy martial arts cane warm-up. Cross and back, spin out here, put these together. Do about 30 seconds now by combining this twist on the outside, the outer orbital, and the infinity spin around your body, figures 8, and then same thing on the other side, back and forth, to the side, back and forth, and then go back and do another set, second set of those 20 seconds. Shallow squats. Now you can go a little bit lower as your body starts to warm up. And by putting your hands here, you're gonna unweight your body a little bit, giving you more mobility. So you are gonna start to strengthen and increase your mobility a little bit quicker and go back to here. Do no less than 3 sets today. Outer orbital, over and back, figures 8, or sideways, figure 8, infinity symbol, endless spin. When we use other weapons, 30 seconds one hand, 30 seconds the other hand, and then back to 20 seconds here, down and up. Really want you to get strong, powerful legs so that you can defend yourself really, really well. Yes, we'll talk about that almost immediately. I don't like to keep you waiting, but I do want you to go into some striking practice. Hard and fast. This is self-defense. Street fight, self-defense, but it's also a martial art. I want you to get tight, bringing it through here to the shoulder and through here. Practice with your right foot forward, 1, 2, and because this is a self-defense weapon, I want you to go into a more powerful, faster strike than you would if you were just learning a martial art for the beauty of it. Maybe it's an esoteric martial art or an aesthetic martial art. Like if you're doing Aikido, you might want to stay slow and you're going whatever. But I'm talking like smashing somebody, self-defense. Hello. So we're practicing. When you have it in your right hand, these first 2 strikes, angle 1, angle 2, you're going to have your right foot forward. 30 seconds with the right, 30 seconds now on the left. And at first, kind of controlled, 2 or 3, and then stronger and faster, harder. And you want to get as hard and as strong as you can. When you go into a self-defense situation, street fight self-defense with the weapon, immediately you're going to hit with as much force and power as you can from the very first strike, trying to end the fight with every single strike. So you're going to do 30 seconds to the right, 30 seconds to the left. And again, if you're in a chair or on a bench, on the bus, on the plane, on the car, from a seated position, car door opens, or maybe you're driving, it's here, this is how I do it. It's in the seat of my car. Someone were to open my door, I pick this up. It's a quick, fast strike. You can do all the same strikes. So if you need to, if you're in a chair, you're still practicing hard and fast. Those basic strikes, 30 seconds with one hand, 30 seconds on the other hand. If you have a striking surface, like a stack of tires, or in this case, a martial arts bag, once you've done 30 seconds in the air, go 30 seconds on the bag. Now, let's talk about you have the cane in your hand and someone closes the distance too fast. Either you weren't paying attention or they surprised you somehow. And the first scenario, there are a million scenarios, right? First scenario is they just put their hands on your chest. Get your hands up. If their hands are here and your hands are up, you've got a stick in one hand. You can, from that position, hit them if you have distance, but if not, that's okay. This hand comes here. Say their hands are here, you can pull this straight into you. That's going to come down and apply pressure, breaking that grip. This is the same thing we would do in Hapkido or some of the old style jiu-jitsu. There's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is a very finely detailed perfection of a small number of techniques, but it all comes from the original jiu-jitsu, right? Where there are a lot of grappling techniques, pressure points. So if I'm here, I can pull in. Single step with a strike for greater power. Yes, I'll show you how to do that. Back to this position. My hands are here, their hands were here, they caught me off guard. Always get your hands up. Always put your hands between you and the threat. And if you have a weapon in your hand, put that between you and the threat as quickly as possible. Now from here to here, I want you to see from the side, it just comes straight down and it's here. And look at how small that distance is between me. Let's say they're right here, right? Unless they're actually on my face, and I don't know why they'd be on, even if they're on my face, bring that thing through, right? You get it to here, think about how powerful that motion is. This is the same motion that you pull yourself up with. If you can still do, yeah, I love all these other martial arts guys. I follow guys like Ken Hill and these other guys so that I can, one, learn, because I don't know everything, right? And two, everybody's got their own flavor or style. Ken Hill definitely has his own flavor and style. And he comes more, he uses speed chucks. There's a lot of speed chucks in what he does. And that's the style I do too. I love speed chucks. That means a shorter string between the nunchuck. Anyway, so from here to here, and then down. That doesn't mean I agree with what everybody says on their channel, but nobody agrees with everything I say either. So that's great. That's good for all of us. That's freeing and liberating. Remember this when it comes to self-defense too. You don't have to like me, but you can't talk to me like that. You don't have to like me, but you can't touch me. That's the basic fundamental of self-defense. Paying attention, number one. Number two, get the weapon between you and your threat. Number three, what are your targets? Destroy them. remove their eyeball out of their face, right? But below all that, the most fundamental thing is that you don't have to like me, I don't have to like you. And that's okay. This is a free world. We lie to our kids sometimes. I hear it when I take them to school and the teachers are saying, friends, we're all friends. No, we're not. I can be polite, I can be honest, I can be kind, but I don't have to be your friend. All right, so anyway, yeah, get your shillelagh, baby. What's the African stick called? So your hands are here. It's probably in that, I never saw the movie, but the Marvel character, the Panther, he's probably using some kind of stick, right? But I know a shillelagh. All right, you're gonna get me all excited about the shillelagh. Well, let's get the shillelagh out. We'll do that one day, too. I've got one of those over here. All right, so my hands are up. This comes here. That's one motion, right? Their hands are on me. Dual stick, I love it. Number two, my hands are up. They're here. Their focus is here in my face. Straight down. I mean, that is such a powerful strike. You can hear it, right? Straight down, right into their leg. Break the knee. Fillet their skin. Open their skin up. Compress the skin and all that tissue against the bone until something breaks. From here to here. From here to here. And then watch my hook. See where it's aiming? It's aiming right at his eye. It's aiming at his face. From here, boom, just to the side, right? He was here. Now let's say he's down here. Same thing. It just comes, you have a big stick in your hand. Clear everything out of the way. Clear it out of the way. Just pushing down, two hands if you need to. Straight down, straight out. Like you're doing a push-up. From here, he's right in my face. My stick's here. It's a very powerful strike. From here to here, I'm going to show you how to get more power today too, using a band. All right, so we're back to our strikes, right? And we'll talk more about what happens when they grab me here, when they grab me here, when they grab me here. Always remember this, if their hand is on you, as long as there's not a knife sticking in you, they put their hand, you now know where their hand is. You can control it now with your cane. And then there's a lot of stuff you can do with the hook. We're not talking about hooks today, but let's say I did, remember that strike down here? What if I were to go the other way, using this part, still gonna smash stuff with that, and then I'm gonna hook their ankle. And if you have good balance and you're strong enough, you just grab that, pull it in like you're doing a rowing motion. And again, I'm gonna show you how to get stronger with the bands. You use wham, so you broke them. And remember this, if you just grab somebody by the ankle and they're not paying attention, you might be able to pull their foot out from under them. But most likely, and I know this because I've seen it and I've practiced it, the other person just gets kind of a hop on the thing, they lose their temper, smashing you, right? But if the first motion that you did was a hard, vicious strike, just smashing stuff, whether you break the bone or you just put them in severe pain, you smash a couple times even, and you get that hook in there, and then you pull on that leg while they're in intense pain and something's broken, then they're going down. So always remember that. There's always what we call a softening technique. So in other words, there's a lot of stuff I can do with my Hapkido or my Jitsu, my small circle Jiu-Jitsu, the Judo that I've practiced for a long time. But if I drive my knee into the groin first, I might soften you. Yeah, this one's rattan, it's very lightweight. I use this one, I use a much heavier one for practice because I like the way it feels. But you can use any cane. Don't wait to get the perfect cane. Get any cane and get started. I'm looking for some of these to sell for you if you can't find them. These are kind of hard to come by unless you get them from Century Martial Arts. But you can get a $10 cane. I put the link below. You don't need this one. It's about 35 bucks. But it is fun to train with. Got an extra $35, go to centurymartialarts.com. They don't give me any money or anything. And you can get yourself one of these rattan canes. All right. So we've got all these different things if they've closed that distance. Yeah, I don't, well, any store in Canada, you must have like the CVS or Walgreens or Walmart, and they have the pharmacy department. Most of them will have a cane. A lot of them are metal, but I find a lot of times that the metal ones are sitting right next to the wooden ones. So, and if you can't get a wooden one, use a metal one. But you should be able to get canes anywhere in Canada. It's a mobility tool. It's a health tool. You're welcome. All right, so back to the strikes, right? I'm gonna step in this position first, following the basic rule of street fight self-defense, is pay attention, situational awareness, know what's happening around you, especially when you walk out of your house, look around the space that's closest to you, like 5 to 10 feet. Then look up and see who's across the street, what's coming down the street. Pay attention so that you can respond instead of reacting. Reacting leads to panic. Panic leads to becoming a victim and letting them just bash you, right? Preparation is training. It's getting stronger legs, practicing your strikes, practicing in a chair. That's all preparation. That leads to responding. When the threat comes in, he's across the street, but if he gets any closer, I've already decided in my mind, I'm gonna get in a better position, put my stick between me and him, the threat. I'm gonna use my verbal command, back up. And if he doesn't, I've already thought about what are the targets. I'm gonna take out his eyes. He's got something in his hand, maybe it's a knife. I'm gonna just smash, I'm gonna break every bone in the hand and the wrist, right? I've already made that decision before he even came close. Maybe it's a rabid animal or a wild dog. I know where I'm gonna strike. This is how you think about this stuff. No, you're right. Exactly. All right, so we've gone into this position. You're in a better position. I want you to put your right foot forward, hold it in your right hand, and strike here. And then I want you to step up and strike here. Now, you asked me about the power strike and how do you add the step, or could you add a step? And this is the answer. 1, 2. Think about stepping through. Think about the Irish shillelagh, stepping through. And you're coming in, 1, 2. Coming forward with your body is going to exponentially increase the speed of that second strike. If I were just striking here, that's fast. If I move in with my whole body on the strike, it's a lot faster. So I'm here, 1, 2. And then I want you to add another strike after that from here. This is your practice. From here down, bring it around your head in the same strike. Looks easy. You might get it right away. Might take you a couple minutes. But break it down. Right foot forward, staff in, or cane in the right hand, hands up in the protected position, verbal command, back up, stop. I will defend myself. 1 step, comes to the other shoulder, 2. My target is still here in front of my body. Maybe it's his face, maybe it's his clavicle. I'm gonna break his shoulder bone so he can't grab me. Maybe it's his arm, maybe it's his waist. I'm gonna show you that in a second. Good question. Right foot forward, 1 to that shoulder, 2. You wanna try to time it. Practice timing it. Don't try to time it, practice it. So from here, 1, 2, 3. From here, 1, 2. The second strike is gonna be so powerful. You're either going in here, a little bit lower, maybe to his hand, down to that knee. 1, 2, 3. Then, let's talk about the guys right behind me. My cane, I'm using my cane to walk with, right? And he comes up, and there are a million ways he can grab you from behind. Ideally, he grabs you, and he doesn't just bash you in the back of the head with a chunk of concrete because he's gonna take your stuff and you weren't paying attention. But let's say he doesn't bash you in the back of the head because you did pay attention, and he comes up and maybe he's going for your hand that's holding the cane. You have to turn your head before your body. Wherever your head goes, that's where the body goes. That's a basic rule of self-defense too. If I can control your head and stick your head on the floor, it's gonna be hard for you to get your body up and get out of the way. I'm gonna go for the head and put the head on the floor when I do my street fight self-defense. I'm talking about immediate, direct, explosive. I'm just going for right there. If I can hit it and I can grab hold of it and I can get my grip in there, I'm sticking it on the floor, right? So I can, just like police officers do. They wanna control the head, they control the body. If they got a knife in their hand, they go knife and head. Just control the knife, right? But the head, wherever the head goes, the body follows. So let's say they're here, turn your head to see what's behind you. As you do that, it's gonna kick that foot out. If they have my hand here, I might not be able to lift my hand up, especially if they're stronger than me. But I don't need to lift my hand up, I just need to turn my wrist. And no matter how strong they are, they're not gonna stop that. From here, I just bring that up this way. That's what, this is such an effective thing. Not only can you take this everywhere, you take it in the car, you could take it to the plane station or the plane airport. Take it through security, right? They might need to put the conveyor belt. But on the other side, after they check you, you're walking to your plane with the cane in your hand. You're sitting on the plane, it goes in the overhead, or you set it right there. I mean, it's so effective. You can take it into the courthouse. You can take it into the police department. It's not a weapon. They don't see it. That's why it's so effective. I can't take my bow staff. I can't take my Han bow, the shorter one, or the Japanese bow. I can't take my walking stick onto the plane. They're gonna make me either check it, and maybe some do, maybe some don't. But most of them are gonna look at that as a big weapon, right? Even if it isn't. I used to carry Japanese drumming sticks for taiko, and they would take those. They would take them. I couldn't even check them in my luggage. Those are weapons. It's too late. The luggage is gone. Those things are hard to get. You got to make them yourself half the time. They're not going to take this. It's your legal right, and you don't have to carry a doctor's note saying you need it. So anyway, you have the guy behind you. You turn and look and step to the side, and then this to this. That's a power move. I don't know if you can hear it. It's a very powerful move. Once I hit him here, then I'm hitting him all these other ways. That's just one solution. What you have to remember is it's not based on the technique. It's based on the first question, which is pay attention. Number two is what are the targets that you're going to hit, right? What are the targets? If you turn and you look, you're going to see who's grabbing you. Maybe it was your grandson. Maybe it's your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. But someone comes up and aggressively grabs you from behind. You turn your head, that first strike, and then after that, it's all in, baby. You're going all in with every strike, trying to end the fight with every single strike. So that's just one answer, one scenario. Another one would be to here and then driving, like that rifle butt, or that bayonet attack, that basic strike. But you have a force multiplier in your hand. This takes whatever you have naturally and multiplies it exponentially. So now you're hitting with so much more force, speed, power, devastation, which is why I like this thing so much, because it's also just a walking stick, right? It's a walking cane. All right, so we talked about from here, one, strike, strike, strike. That's the one I want you to practice, nice and easy. One, or coming from the same side, stepping up and striking over the top. And then do the same thing on the other hand, from here, from the same shoulder, strike, step up to the side, and to the other side. And those are the strikes I want you to do today, and I want to show you this band. Because you asked me about getting stronger, I'm going to show you some really obvious things that you can do with this that might not seem obvious when you first get one. But if you have your walking cane and a band, you can now start to develop some dynamic power, strength, and speed together with a little bit of accuracy to be explosive in your self-defense strikes so you can really defend yourself and you can grow stronger with every practice. So one thing that I will do is put this around an anchor, and this just happens to be a bag. You can put it around this way. You can tie this on the stairs, like if you have a railing, anything that's not going to come pulling out of the wall. Put it around a tree, put it on a post, and then you put your hook in there, and you give yourself some resistance. And one of the things I want you to work on is this idea that eventually I'm going to show you how to hook his leg and pull his leg out from under him. I'm going to show you how to stick this part between the legs, either facing forward, so it's coming this way, or going the other way, and then pull with so much force that it's over for them, right? They're not running after you anymore. They're not fighting anymore. You just stuck this through that soft fascia, that soft muscle or thin muscle that keeps their guts in. You gave them a hernia that it's going to take a hospital and a team of doctors to repair. For self-defense, street fight self-defense, it's you or them. You stick that in there, but you're going to need this pulling power. So this is a rowing motion. And I have this here, give myself some resistance. My right hand goes in front of my left, and you can either do it from the fighting position with one foot in front of the other, or you can do it just straight in. If you go straight in, you have to give yourself more resistance and more room because you're going to stab yourself through the middle. I like this fighting position with the right foot in front of the left, right hand's forward, and then and it's pull and hold, explosive. Remember, we're not just talking strength. You're not doing this to look like a bodybuilder. You're doing this to have real, wicked, strong power, strong grip, strong back muscles, strong abdominal muscles. It's coming through this way. Explosive pull and hold. Switch your feet and do the other side. Instead of thinking in repetitions, that means number of times doing it, think in terms of time, 30 seconds per side. Work up to 2 minutes. Really feel those muscles. Pull and hold. This is also going to help your posture. It's going to make you stronger, taller. You're going to look taller because your back is going to be straight. Then, if you can't do it, you can do that sitting too, right? You do it that way. And there's another way you can do the same one, similar one, but in a different position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step, put one foot in each side. Let me move this chair out of the way. Put it on the floor, and how you use the hook is important. Point the hook. I was showing this again this morning. I've done it so many times, but I wasn't thinking. And I had the hook pointing toward me instead of away from me, which means I give myself a little bit of a goose. So point the hook away from you, and you're gonna stick the hook between both sides of this big rubber band so that you're now pulling. The same thing, you wanna have one hand above the other one. Up, 2, 3. You're gonna feel this a lot in the upper part of the arm and in the chest and a little bit of the back. Where that rowing motion this way, you're gonna feel mostly in the back and a little bit in the arms. So now you're pulling up this way. You're standing on each side, one foot in this one foot in this one. And then, and this is just a couple of a million different things you can do with this. You take the band like this, comes behind your back. Get it behind my back. The hook goes in one side, and the shaft, the other half of the hook, the other side of the cane, goes on the other side. My hands are between the two bands. And from here, I'm gonna try to push my hands together, creating some dynamic tension. I wanna get that isometric exercise and really fire the muscles in the middle of my chest. This is where your power is coming from. Pushing your hands together and then out. 1, 2, 3. And again, 30 seconds here. And then you can modify out, down, out, up. You do this for 30 seconds, but the key is you have to squeeze these hands toward each other the whole time you're doing this exercise, and that's really gonna fire the muscle fibers on the inside of your chest. That's gonna make you look good, but it's also gonna give you that dynamic knockout striking power. So you're doing this for 30 seconds, either straight, like a standing pull-up or push-up, or out. I like to go all 3 directions. 1, 2, you know, the pectoral muscle really has 2 heads, an upper part and a lower part. But there's also, when you go down in this motion, you're gonna fire those muscle fibers. When you go here, it's more of the whole thing. When you go up, you're gonna feel it up here. You're gonna get a nice décolleté for the summer. Then you take that same loop and you stick it over your bum. Right here, almost like you're sitting in it, right? This is the last one I'll show you because I gotta get going. But you're gonna curl. You're gonna build that strong bicep muscle, not for the beach, not to show off, but for that knockout power. Really wicked strong. And again, when you reach out and you grab hold of somebody, whether you're using your hand or you stick that cane around the back of their neck, and you pull them in while you drive your elbow through their head for a street fight self-defense, not just to be a mean guy or girl, but for self-defense, you need that strong pulling motion, strong bicep muscle. So same thing, this time your hands are on the outside of the band and you wanna push back just a little bit, like you're sitting. and then up, 2, 3, 4. And the whole time, keeping your stomach tight, up and in, you're going for 30 seconds. And the more you do, the more you'll be able to do. That's the truth of martial arts and training like this. The more you do, the more you can do. You have to do the resistance training. Resistance training keeps you young because it releases trace amounts of the precursor hormones that turn into testosterone or whatever your body needs. Your body will need, the growth hormone. You're gonna get that when you start getting some resistance. And when you're doing this, you're not gonna get big, bulky like Arnold. You're gonna get lean, powerful, explosive, healthy muscle that you're gonna use to defend yourself. So get yourself a band. I put the links. If you're here in the States, you want one of these. Yes, all those are Amazon, but you don't need to get them from Amazon. That's just the easiest access that I have, right? That's what I do, because I get them from there, and they're actually cheaper than anywhere else. This one, though, I got at a discount store. I think it said Bally's on it. May have rubbed off. I don't know. There it is. Yeah, Bally's. That's their symbol. Bally's. I got a whole story about Bally's. I used to work at Bally's years and years ago. But I got this at, there's a chain of stores here called TJ Maxx, and they have, I think, Bed Bath & Beyond and another one. Marshall's, that's it. I think I got it at a Marshall's, but they're all about the same. And what they do is they get this discount stuff, and it's super cheap. You can get these in most big box stores. They have almost anything. I've been doing it for a while. This is a little bit stronger for most people. I would go with the less. I don't know where they come up with 65 pounds and how they measure that. They're usually widths, and they're all the way over there. I'd show you. This is the second width, and it looks like it's about 1.25 inches wide, maybe 1.5 inches. And then they get wider and wider and wider. And then there's one that's not half of this, but maybe if you take a 1/2 inch off, it's maybe 3/4 inch. And that's like the starting level. That starting level, all you need. You can do so many exercises. I do this every morning. This exercise right here, you hold your ends of the bands and you push back, and while you're doing it, you're turning your thumbs out, just like you're hitching a ride. And you hold it a little bit higher than your chin, and you're gonna activate the muscles in the upper back to pull your shoulders back and down and your stomach up and in and pulls your chin back. And if you're like this all day on your phone, or you have to be, because you're like this, and you get that neck pain and that tension, that's gonna kill it right there. This is gonna get everything in alignment. And then I like to, in addition to the cane, get myself an anchor and then slow at first, slow, and then bam, bam. And that's why you might want to have one that's real light at first, and you go for 30 seconds. At the end of 30 seconds, everything's going to be burning. Then you take this with that explosive knockout hook punch, put this hand here, bring this across the body, across the body. This is the same thing as the pec deck in the gym, but the best thing about it is it's giving you that dynamic, knock somebody out power, not just big muscles for the beach, but for real, useful, practical combat, strength training, muscle, across like this, squeeze and hold, squeeze and hold. Then you can do this, right? But that's not all. You put that together, pull, and think about this. I'm gonna reach out. You're fighting 6 guys because you have to. You don't have a choice. It's you or them, and your loved ones need to be protected by you. You're the first responder. And they're hitting you here, and you're defending yourself here, but then there's this guy who comes up here, and you're gonna grab a big chunk of him, whether it's his skin or his body or his stuff, his shirt, and you pull him in, and then you throw him across the room. 1, 2. So you make that an exercise, right? Now you have triphasic motion, right? That's what Pat Mack calls it. I've seen this from physical therapists, and especially sports acceleration pros. They teach all this stuff, but Pat Mack, who's a tier 1 operator, Delta CAG, if you know what that means, and he's got a great channel. I think he just launched a new coaching program. But he also teaches this, and he uses all the proper terms. I don't know any proper term for anything, especially when it comes to like the weapons. I'm gonna teach you guys how to use the bow staff. I'm gonna show you Chinese style, a little bit of the Indian style that I've been picking up, and a lot of the Kobudo, the Japanese style. but I'm not gonna use any of the terms. Not in the original languages. And it's not that I can't learn them. I don't wanna waste my energy on that. It's just me. You can, but I like the power of doing over the power of knowing. Pull, twist and punch. So you've got one, you've got the twisting, which is two, and you've got the extension, which is three. And you start to train like this, that you can only do with these bands, or that you can only do so well with the bands. And that's just one of many. I also like to take this thing, get it in my hand, and work on my footwork, right? So now I have resistance. And I'm coming in and out, and I'm moving to the side, and I have different steps, and I'm switching, and I slide in and punch, slide back. So now you can increase your speed, power, or get your heart rate up, lean your body out faster, all from just one. And I use these things every single day. It takes months for me to break them. They do break, but you're gonna get hours and hours and hours of training for like 10 bucks. Anyway, thanks so much for all your comments. Please put them in the comment section below if you have questions so I can read them later. And I will see you on the next one.